I mean, if somebody went to go tackle me, I'd spread my legs and get ready to Toro too. I'd just move out of the way and.
I'm sorry, phrasing. What was that?
What? Huh?
What did
Spread
you say?
my legs and ready to Toro.
You heard me.
I just had to hear it again. I'm sorry.
I don't even.
Oh man,
What does that even mean?
There's a sentence that has
I don't
never
know,
been
but I'm gonna
uttered.
use it from now on.
Spread my legs and ready to Toro. I think I was thinking of like a matador.
That sounds like a Saturday night for me.
Mercy to a virus? Never.
ReBoot!
Yeah, real alphanumeric.
That's ReBoot. It lets you download useful tools, skills, and weapons from the game into your own code.
They call me Wise One. The one I understand. The Wise I'm not so sure about.
Alphanumeric! Yeah! Cool!
Greetings and welcome to another Lasercomb production of Alphanumeric, the ReBoot podcast, where three 90s kids talk about your favorite television show, ReBoot. I am one of your hosts, NeoCal, and I am joined by the one and only AP Snidler.
Hi.
And also joining us is the prestigious Christopher Siege.
Speciation, listeners.
And
Kinda like that
today, yeah, I like that. I don't know what it means, but good.
Speciation is something I learned in anthropology. Speciation is what happens when a single species splits off and becomes so genetically different.
It can no longer mate with
that it becomes like that they become like separate species.
Separate species. Oh,
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Today I learned. Today's a pretty
how we do it here.
Today's a pretty important episode.
Oh, very.
Looks like season 3, episode 5, Icons. Yeah. Is a special episode. Let's see here. It came out September 1997 in Canada, and earlier in the UK for some reason.
Yeah, it seems to be a trend with season 3, and I find it kind of strange because from what I've heard from people on Reddit and shit, the show got canceled very quickly during season 3 in the UK, and so like I think I heard that it got canceled like halfway through season 3 in the UK and then didn't air for like until like the mid 2000s.
Wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know if it was popular when it showed the reruns in the 2000s?
No, I have no idea.
No idea.
But
I just have any UK listeners, like, when did you discover this in the 2000s?
Well, I've seen the geographical data, and no, we don't.
Boom, boom. We don't have that UK sense of humor.
Nope.
No.
Our other show, Too Much
want
Energon, though, is seems to be fairly big in Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Actually, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Other podcasts, big in Australia and the States, and pretty much nowhere else. And this show that we do is mostly the States with a little bit of Canada, which I'm sure probably maybe a quarter of that listener data is just us.
It's just us rewatching.
Possibly. Hopefully more, because my next point.
It's me and all my alts.
Yeah, there you
go. Hopefully more, because season 3 of ReBoot really took off in Australia because of a character that is not here yet, but we will get to that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen.
I have a lot of things to say about that character when we get there eventually.
Yeah.
I'm actually confused about what you're talking about, so I am pleasantly looking forward to whatever you're talking about. I'm trying to rack my head. Oh! Okay, never mind. Yeah.
There you go.
Got
there
it.
You go. Yeah.
So the intro is different.
How's the ray tracing on that PS5 of yours?
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
If there's a joke,
great.
I missed it.
there was a joke. The character's name is Ray Tracer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways, we'll get to that because it's a good set of episodes. All right.
I think it might be
So-
in the next story arc after this one. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The intro, gentlemen. We no longer come from the net. We no longer come from the web. We live in the games. Yeah. How about that?
We do. We live in the games.
And a different narrator does the intro. Adult Enzo.
Oh yeah.
I kind of love the intro.
Oh yeah. It's great.
Mm. I have no thoughts about it. It's just it's a spin on the
Was
same
there
old
more?
it's the same it's a spin on the same old bullshit, but now it's
But
grown
I
up
like
Enzo.
it that they mix it up. They mixed it up
Yeah.
with Mega. They mixed it up with Megabyte. They mixing it up with Enzo now.
They do it for
dig it.
every single 4-episode arc for the remainder of this series.
Oh shit.
Because the rest of this series, from like the last 4 episodes of season 2, and I only really took note of this recently, but the last 4 episodes of season 2 onward, going all the way to the end of the show, are all broken up into 4-episode story arcs.
Oh, cool.
And so they change the intro for every block of episodes.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the same
After-
thing with this podcast.
All right.
So
I
the
live in
first,
the
if you missed the intro for some reason and you just jumped right into it, we're met with like a space game.
Yeah.
Yep. Mars attacks.
It's Mars attacks thing. They're literally saying ack 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 ack.
It's quite shameless.
Yeah.
Quite shamelessly Mars attacks. Who was that? Was that Tim Burton? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen the film, but
It's
It's
different.
yeah.
well,
Different.
I saw part of it. I never watched the whole thing through. But what I remember is that at the beginning of the film we're introduced to Michael J. Fox, and he's like presented as being like the protagonist of the film. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then he just dies like 15 minutes into the movie. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, all right.
It's weird.
There's a
It's a
lot
weird
of
one.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of weird twists.
And the Martians are being attacked by a NASA space shuttle,
Shooting,
you know.
shooting space lasers.
shooting lasers straight out of like the front of it,
Yeah. Because
Yeah, it's kind of
and it's somehow maneuvering and flying through
Yeah.
space,
a,
like
a
dogfighting.
contemporary NASA space shuttle fucking Millennium Falconing its way through an asteroid field.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's very humorous.
I definitely took note of it when I watched this earlier.
And I'm like, that's not. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Sure.
yeah.
And we see the green alien when they turn and kind of fire at the user. The user's in the NASA shuttle, and they're in like a little flying saucer. That the green one, Enzo, he's got like a golden eye, and it helps him like, it's like hacks or cheats or something. Like it helps him like auto aim.
Zero in.
Yeah.
Zero in on the user, and then the weird little plasma death ray that they're shooting out under the bottom of the saucer,
Pew, pew,
like
pew.
instantly hits it.
Yeah.
And they briefly talk about, hey, are we leaving with the game or are we staying in the system? What are we doing?
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out that the ACK is subtitled, and the subtitle
Yeah.
at one point mentions AndrAIa by name.
So it's letting the viewer know. I was gonna say the user.
I
the
caught
viewer
that.
know. It's letting I must do that all the time. It's letting the viewer know that, hey, by the way, this is Frisket and Andrea and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enzo.
But we
we're
don't
not-
really get any indication that they've changed at all since the last time we saw them.
Like I said, if you magically didn't see the intro,
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what's happening.
this is a little bit of a shock because they stay in the system, which is basically a fucking absolute wasteland.
Yeah, because as the game is about
Yeah.
to end, they double tap their icons, which are in game sprite mode, and then they switch
Yeah.
back to sprite mode.
Yeah.
And
And so that way, if they win, they can stay in the system that game landed in.
exactly, yeah. And Enzo is like, "Okay, user, game over," and they blow up the NASA space shuttle.
No.
And the game goes away.
Yeah.
And then we get to see some beefy blue man legs.
Yeah.
The slow pan
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
I really enjoy.
Yeah. It's a good one. This is great. Actually.
Yeah, he's got combat boots. Tight jeans. Frisket looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Which I found funny.
Yeah.
I thought
I don't-
maybe he'd have a scar over his eye too, and but he's pretty much unchanged.
He'd be wearing a doggy vest, like a leather dog vest.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, the beefy guy with the vest, he's got like a gun. He's got like straps around his arms.
A scar on his eye.
What do you think of their designs? And so basically, they're both adult.
And they're both.
And what do you think? Do you think they're young adults, or do you think they're like older than that? Like it doesn't strike me that only 5 years has passed. It seems like they're like early 20s, mid 20s, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking mid
I'd say
20s.
mid 20s.
Mid
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has facial hair, but not quite full beard going on.
Yeah.
Andrea's kind of cool, but they're definitely both sexualized.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, we've
yeah.
already talked about like how Megabyte and Hexadecimal already were the sexualization for the show, so that's
Yeah.
nothing new.
Yeah.
I think on Twitter, fairly recently, someone tweeted about Enzo and AndrAIa, and I commented something about how they're like bisexuality fuel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Just look at them, people.
Yeah.
look at them.
It's
Come
in the
on.
text.
It's there. It's in front of you. No, I just remember being like this. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the show. I think I may have mentioned it in like season 1. But when I was a kid, my grandparents used to tape the show for me
Mhm.
from season 1 on.
Yeah, I think
And
you
they
mentioned that
actually
a long time ago.
Yeah, and they actually got really into the show.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did. They were like, "Wow, this is." They thought it was, really fascinating computer effects, and then
Yeah, absolutely.
and then they started getting into like the storyline. Like it was more serialized as it went on, and they started really getting into it. And so then they were really shocked when Enzo lost the game, and it was very.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but you got to see this episode." I was like, "What happens?" And so, and then this episode comes around, and she's like, "Hey, we taped another episode for." I'm like 11 or 12 years old at this time, and my grandmother's like, "Hey, we taped another episode for you." I was like, "Oh, it's back on. Good. It's great." She says, "Enzo looks very different." Then my grandpa shouts from the other room. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna like AndrAIa in this season." and I was just like, "Really? Why?" And then turned it on, and I was just like, "Yep." And the grandma was just like, "Yeah." It was kind of, yeah.
I still
Yeah.
like Christopher's friend Zim his story where like his
Oh,
parents
right,
cut him
right.
off after the episode came over,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
and he never got to find out what happened until he was an adult, and then when the internet came out.
Yeah.
Fucking
yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah.
I found out through social media recently that he moved. I was like, wow, it's really been that long since we spoke. I knew nothing of
Right.
this.
So long.
Peace.
So the system that like battle like Warren, like sexy Andrea and Enzo Landon, it's got like golden kind of brownish skies.
Kind of like burnt looking, smoky.
And the
yeah.
whole town is just full of like scattered like binomes hiding in filth.
Mm.
I think grown-up, sexy Andrea and Enzo need a like 2000s era couples name, like contraction of their name. So like or a portmanteau rather of their names. So like Andrenzo.
Oh,
Those good.
Andrenzo.
Yeah. Andrenzo. Hashtag Andrenzo.
Andrenzo is pretty good,
Hashtag
actually.
Andrenzo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that.
Let's put that shit on Twitter.
a real power couple.
It's going up. It's going up right now.
Hashtag Andrenzo.
It's better than Mega Decimal.
That's true.
The couple
Only
that,
slightly.
What was the loser that they turned into when they merged?
The loot. Gigabyte.
Oh, right. I was hoping it would have been cooler, but it was just like fucking like Megabyte if he like stopped cutting calories and only like focused on getting swole.
Terror bite.
That would have been the next one. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah,
Terror
not terabyte.
Yeah.
Terror bite.
Somebody watches Beast Wars. Terror Bite. That was a Beast Wars creature. Terror Bite. A bat? Well, we have Terrorsaur, so that's a ripoff.
Yeah,
Too
but
close.
He's dead. He's
Yeah,
dead.
make way for Terror Bite. Oh, and his one of his forms is just a 98 like Mac.
Okay.
Like the all-in-one like monitor like
the little.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The one that came out just before all those colored ones. Yeah.
yeah. Terror Bite. So basically
the
the
files
binomes...
are in the computer. They're
How do we
in
get
the
all the
computer.
files?
They're in the computer.
Where are all
Of
the
course. It's so simple.
Fantastic movie.
I love that you guys
Don't they
just knew.
Oh yeah.
files? Don't they? So
You know.
listeners, we're talking about Zoolander. Still holds up, I would argue.
The movie, I gotta look up when the exact date that film came out, because it came out in 2001.
That long ago? Jesus,
Yeah.
Wow.
man.
Blimey.
I saw that film in theaters. 2001, September 28th, 2001. So,
Oof.
gotta have a watch party.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Providing everything in the world sorts itself out by then.
Oh, things will be fine. So something happens. Andrea introduces herself. She's Andrea, and she's like, "This is Enzo," and Enzo's like, "It's Matrix. Call me Matrix." And I'm like, okay, tough guy. And then one of the binomes, scared of him, as they should be, randomly steps on a noisemaker, like a horn or
Yeah,
like
a horn.
like, and he like quick draw McGraws and like shoots the horn, and I'm like, whoa, hold on,
Oh,
buddy.
take it easy there.
So it's trying to show the audience like, hey, they're sexy, they're buff, he ain't afraid of shooting shit.
Yeah, he's damaged. A lot's happened to Enzo since, you know.
Not damaged enough to actually get it tattooed on his forehead, however.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Right?
I think he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Me
and what
and my
happens-
partner were talking about Jared Leto's performance as the Joker recently, so that's why I thought of that.
And what was the summary of that?
I thought that I was interested in seeing him again because I thought he was fine, but he was in a bad movie.
Okay, so
her
Jared Leto.
her
ahead.
take was that the way the character was fundamentally flawed, basically, because like the way the character was written and the way the character was designed in that film felt more like someone going to Hot Topic and cosplaying as the Joker, as opposed
Getting
to
temporary tattoos and like
as
rubbing
opposed to
damaged on
like
your-
actually personifying the Joker, like someone like Heath Ledger or
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson or even Cesar Romero in the
Yeah,
60s
yeah.
Batman show.
Yeah.
Like they all brought their own thing to it, but like Jared Leto's Joker, because of like the movie surrounding him and like the way the character was inherently depicted felt kind of artificial.
Oh, it's that is a gracious way of
Yeah.
wording it. Wow. Hats off to both of you for being that like nice. Honestly, I think Jared Leto could absolutely do the mobster kind of Joker.
Yeah.
The design, I don't know why nobody didn't like step forward and they were like, excuse me,
No.
that's
Yeah.
fucking stupid. Like, no, mobsters get tattoos all over their faces. The youth love rappers with shitty tattoos on their faces nowadays. Okay, is he a rapper? No. Okay, should he maybe not have shitty tattoos? Oh, but this is like a mobster. He's been in prison and stuff. And it's just like, well, how do you know he likes jokes? Well, maybe we'll write ha 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 across his chest. Oh, but how do you know that he's the Joker? Well, he'll put a happy face on his hand, and then well, how will people know that he's damaged? Well, you see, he'll have damaged in a nice cursive font written. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's bad, but I think the like him splayed out with like the knives, right? The mob boss, the small interrogation scene where you're not sure how he's going to react. It has potential.
Yeah.
Jared Leto could have been a
good
really
Joker.
iconic Joker. The
Yeah.
design for some reason got past everyone, and everyone went, "Yep, this looks good." It's fine.
Point is, we live in a society.
We do live in a
We
society.
do. We do.
And in this society on ReBoot, let me tell you, that's one sad society.
It's a very sad society. Look at all
So-
the society.
One of these binomes hanging out around them is wearing a like blue and white baseball cap that says
Yeah.
Waterworld Protocol on it.
I
What?
never noticed that.
Yeah.
Water World Protocol?
Yep.
I love water. Okay, I need to see this. Show me
Where
the-
is it?
Oh, I missed it. I genuinely, unironically think Waterworld is an amazing movie.
It's come up on this podcast a few times now.
I see
So,
the hat, but I didn't see Waterworld.
Andrea says, I'll take Frisket and find their command.com.
Yeah.
So this system's command.com is like, is that like the title of what Fong was
Yep.
for mainframe?
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that.
I think that has been mentioned passively in dialogue.
Okay.
Maybe once before,
Yeah.
once or twice before, but
I remember coming up once in like Infected, beginning of season 2, but that's all I really remember where that was brought up. Yeah. the title.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Matrix disappears and goes to do like system repairs or system analysis, while AndrAIa and Frisket go to talk to the command.com.
Sorry, I was wrong. It doesn't say Waterworld Protocol. It says Waterworld was cool.
Oh, that's even better.
Well, that's even better
I've
because
been
it was cool.
I've been saying, like Christopher says, that has come up at least once on this podcast before. Waterworld was cool, man.
Waterworld was
With that
awesome.
binome.
I love it when our off-topic shit actually becomes like weirdly topical.
Like
Yeah.
a season later.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And this place is just crawling with nulls too.
It's
Like
it's,
a
it's
lot.
pretty bad.
A lot has been done to this place. By
So this
losing
is not a
games.
system that tries to win games or
No.
can win games.
No.
But we do see that Matrix still has the broken Guardian key tool glitch.
Yes. Yes. And it still works to a point.
To some
like
extent, yeah.
Scan systems and
And in fact, it alerts him that there is a virus in the system.
yes.
So he immediately runs after it.
Like he does.
What their principal office is kind of badass looking.
It's pretty cool. It looks like a temple.
Yeah,
Some
it's
like-
got a floating cube,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a round ball.
Yeah.
Frame.
And you got this.
So
They're
sorry,
going.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it was they go into the principal office and they find this this wise old Yiddish sounding welcome, you know, and he's on this like
That's cool.
cool like wicked computer chair thing, and it's like this crane, and it just kind of moves him
Yeah, he's
around.
moving himself around. He's
Yeah.
like, they call me Wise One. One, I understand. Wise.
I'm not so sure about.
Yeah. I didn't realize until later in the episode that the back of his head comes out and he's literally the number one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
He turns his back to the camera later in the episode, and I was like, oh, he's actually shaped like the
He's a
number
one.
one.
I was
Yeah.
kind of wondering if he was like a reference to a specific character from like a movie or TV show or something,
I was
but
trying to wrap my head around that too.
Yeah.
but the reboot wiki has nothing for me. My first thought honestly was like Billy Crystal's character in The Princess Bride.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you mean.
Yeah.
Just because of the accent or something, yeah.
Could be. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie. I saw that film once, like 15 years ago.
I saw it once 4 years ago. I know it took me forever to get around to watching it.
Yeah, same.
And I was like, why does everybody say that Princess Diaries is so good? Isn't it just a kid's movie? And they're like, no, man, Princess Bride. And I was like, what's okay, I guess I'll watch it. And I was like, oh, this is much different. Okay.
Hey, man. Anne Hathaway is a national treasure. God damn it.
God damn it.
Yeah.
So, Andrea introduces herself to Vise One, and then we cut to a giant purple praying mantis,
Yes.
voiced by the Dinobot voice actor.
Scott McNeil,
Anybody
yeah.
wanted- Scott McNeil.
Very-
clearly.
Very clearly, and doing
Like,
basically
exactly.
the same performance as Dinobot. He even
Sounds
does like the
just like Dinobot.
same like screams and everything. Yeah.
And he's fighting some golden sprite,
Yeah.
some like crash test dummy looking
Thing.
dude.
Before I
He's got, like,
forget-
rivets on him.
Before
Throwing rocks at him.
Before I
Sorry, go on.
forget, I just want to quickly throw out there mid 2000s Anne Hathaway as live action Andrea.
Okay.
Give her a tan.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Dye her
probably
hair
see it.
blue. I think she could pull it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listeners, if you have thoughts about that, tweet
Yes.
at us.
Who would be a good Andrea?
Who would be a good Enzo?
You can't beat.
Nobody. I can't
You
really.
just can't beat it. I mean, Vin Diesel with hair, maybe, but I don't know.
Wyatt Russell.
I'll think more on that.
Yeah. John Cena. Yeah.
I mean,
Do, 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 do.
actually,
Do, 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 do.
No.
Well, the problem with casting him as grown-up Enzo, though, is you wouldn't be able to see him.
It's true.
So,
Yeah.
just wouldn't work.
yeah, it wouldn't. He doesn't show up on film.
Yeah,
It's a fact.
it's like a vampire.
Yeah.
So we see this little like steampunk sprite fighting Dinobot praying
Copper
mantis,
kettle. Yeah.
and blue like bolts of like flames like shoot out, and one of them hits his left like front
His
leg.
mandible. Yes.
Okay, so quick aside.
All right, so
I noticed on
take
the
it away.
wiki, on the reboot wiki,
I had to.
and I'm
sorry.
like, and I noticed on the reboot wiki, and I was like, Christopher Snidler. It's a small like fucking detail, but it's important to me. It says that his left mandible is shot by Matrix, and like deletes itself, like disappears. And I said that's its left front leg,
Yeah.
nowhere near its mandible. Mandible is mouth parts,
Look
Yep.
at my long mandibles.
right? So like, insects have like mouth part mandibles. That's a leg. It's just its front leg. It doesn't have a special name. And it
No.
bugged me enough, and I was like, and Snidler was like, I'm going in. So we're fixing the reboot wiki, people.
That person probably watched a number of WWF pro wrestling matches featuring one Mankind, whose signature submission maneuver was called the mandible claw, where he would put a sock on his hand and then stick his hand into his opponent's mouth and then press down on their tongue, essentially.
Ow.
So I'm thinking the person who wrote this wiki entry maybe saw that growing up, and their takeaway from that being called the mandible claw was that the claw itself, his hand, was the mandible.
You know what?
Very,
I
very
not-
possible, and I hope you're right.
I'm going
Not
with it.
Yeah.
not being named the mandible claw because the claw is inflicting damage upon his opponent's mandible. That's the only way that makes sense to me.
There we go. And it's a 90s kid, which means he saw Mankind
Yeah.
fight. Yeah. Monday Night Raw, baby.
Everybody watched WWF back in 1998.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Name one person that didn't. I'll wait.
We get like
so-
3 people tweeting at us like, wrestling's fake.
I would like stone-faced, like
Wasn't
be like,
actually
no, it's
pushing
not.
down on his tongue. Okay.
I'd be like, no, it's not. It's real. Fight me.
No. Fight me like in
just
wrestling.
Don't
Just wrestle
like,
me.
just
Fight
completely.
me.
Just,
I'll
yeah.
give you a motherfucking stone cold stunner, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll mandible you. I'll claw you. Yeah.
With
Or
my
at the very
mandibles.
least pull.
With my mandibles. With the spirit fingered mandibles.
Mandible strike. So
Mandible powers activate.
mandible powers activate.
Form of bicep.
So
Uh,
Snidler saved the day. He edited the wiki.
Yeah.
So we get a sweet action shot, like literally like an action shot of Matrix like flying through the air
Yeah.
with like one leg out
Yeah.
as he like lands and pins down the virus.
yeah.
And Dinobot is like, "What? A guardian? I'm Matrix, the renegade."
There's no guardian here. I can't do his voice, but I wish I could. It's such a sexy voice.
And he's like,
Yeah.
please, renegade, mercy on poor Dinobot. And I think that's mercy to a virus? Never. And he fucking kills him. Just
Yep.
get fucked. He's dead.
Yep.
Total deletion. Which is kind of interesting because, like, his role model growing up was Bob, who was, like, vehemently opposed to deleting viruses.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which is another thing we're learning about. Sorry, go on.
Nope.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, I thought about that too, and I'm kind of going, like Enzo seeing some stuff as he's been traveling in the games, kind of built this calloused exterior, and where he just kind of gets the job done rather than just talk about beating viruses. Or trying to beat viruses or something. Go on.
I would argue that that experience is actually just from his experiences in Mainframe.
That's what I was getting at. Where it's kind of like
going through the games has aged him and hardened him and given him skills and stuff like that. But like, look how fucking many chances Bob gave the viruses. Helped hexadecimal.
That was part of my point. Yeah. Where now he's just kind of doing it. He's just good. He's just doing it.
Doing what?
Like all these lost.
Yeah,
all these lost opportunities. No more, Mr. Nice Guy. Yeah.
And this system is like is terrible.
It's
Probably
like
because of the virus. So it's refreshing seeing him in the first 5 minutes of this episode just fucking take out the system virus.
It's like Jason Todd seemingly being beaten to death by the Joker with a crowbar, and then emerging many years later as the Red Hood, who is a vigilante who is just straight up killing criminals. And like his whole argument to Batman, like when it's discovered that he's Jason Todd, is like basically like this fucking guy has like you thought like he fucking killed me. I came back to life in a Lazarus pit. This motherfucker killed me. He crippled Barbara. He's like killed and or hurt so many people, and you just won't you won't take him out. Like fuck you, man. Yeah. I'm gonna deal with this myself.
That's got a good point. Yeah, like Punisher, Red Hood. Who else just fucks people up? Wolverine fucks some people up. But,
I just find there's a bit of a parallel there between the Batman, Red Hood, Joker dynamic.
Oh, I see that particular dynamic
with grown-up Matrix, Bob, and viruses.
I see that. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Well, here we are. Oh, he has the same tattoo that Dot has. Remember we were watching a couple episodes back and I was like, oh, did you guys see Dot's tattoo? And we paused it and you were like, oh shit, she's got like an arm tattoo? In the same spot on the left, like, fucking shoulder. Matrix has the same tattoo.
I see that now, yeah.
Is it the same? Yeah, I think it's the same. It's like the little icon with the pokey bits.
Yeah.
If it's different, I haven't gotten a close-up of it yet, so...
He probably got it done in another system. Yeah.
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 Huh. Oh, I like that. I didn't notice the first, 2 times I watched this episode. Sweet.
I hate this kid. I hate the look of him.
I'm not crazy about him either.
Actually, it grew on me. I like his his design, his weird little steampunk bot design. He's grown on me. Yeah. The riveted look to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very expressive, but I don't like how fucking smiley this child is.
I do. I like him.
I don't.
Well, look at everyone else in the system. They're all ready to die.
Yeah.
As they should be.
He's like the closest thing Enzo has seen to himself quite a long time. And so Enzo Matrix is just kind of like, oh, just go away.
Well, yeah. The
It's
the parallels
annoying,
between
annoying
them
little
are
keener.
like practically like beating you over the head with a giant dildo.
So we're met with Andrea giving some story to explaining herself to the remaining binomes of this system, as well as Wise One.
Yeah.
But it's also telling the viewer, hey, by the way, like this is how we survived. Years have gone by. We've gone like through the games, and she taps her icon, which is like below her like sweet belly button piercing.
Mhm.
And
It's on her
so
belt.
she's filling in the audience, but also the doing it naturally by talking to the binomes, and I like that. If you need to do a small like info dump, having it occur through a Bob TED talk or Andrea, giving a talk to the survivors, I think the show's done a good job whenever it's done something like that.
Yeah.
Very natural protoform exposition dumps.
Yeah. It's a natural protoform exposition.
Yep.
As there's a character named Protoform X on Beast Wars, Snidler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
We got a lot of Protoform exposition last episode. I think Christopher coined.
Yeah. Coin the term
That's
protoform
good.
exposition dump.
That makes sense. I like it.
There's a few actually in that episode. But yeah, there we have it. So we're filled in. The I was gonna say NPCs, the binomes.
I
are-
mean,
are
basically.
filled in. Yeah. And basically, Wise One is like, hey, what will it take for us to keep you here? Like, here's an offering. There's like I didn't take a good look at what his offering was. But he's
Here,
like,
take
"Here,
our
please
junk
stay here.
as payment to stay
It's
here
basically,
and
please.
save us.
Please take our junk." It's like boxes of stuff and like something that looks like a Nerf gun. It's junk.
Oh my god, it totally is a Nerf gun.
Is it a Nerf
Right?
gun?
Did you guys
or
see the Nerf gun?
is it,
Yeah.
is it a Nerf gun or a Super
Jeez.
Soaker 2000?
It's got the darts.
No.
Yeah. So Matrix comes out of the shadows, and he's like, "You won't have anything if you keep losing games." And does he have a rusty chain as a belt? Hold up.
Yes.
Yeah. He has a chain.
I don't know if
as
it's
a
How did I
belt.
not
rusty. Is it
notice
rusty?
this?
Yeah, he's got like a chain.
Let me see here. Maybe it's just the lighting that I'm seeing him in, but yeah, he's got I don't know why I didn't notice he had a chain as a belt. So she asks how bad the system is, and he says, "Real bad. I patched it up the best I could." Now he's using metaphor, right? Like he just took out the virus.
But how bad is it, Matrix?
Is it very bad?
It's pretty bad. That's not the line. It's real bad.
It's kind of, sort of, not okay.
It's beta numeric, bro.
Beta.
Numeric is the
Yeah.
new thing.
You don't want to be beta numeric.
No.
You want to be alpha numeric.
Yeah.
I'm glad we named the show that.
Yes.
So Matrix
Not beta numeric.
Matrix describes the
That's the spin-off podcast.
Yeah.
beta numeric. Yeah.
That's the finale. Yeah.
He says one more lost game and they've had it. So I don't know what that means here. So later in the episode, we see lightning strike, and the lightning dissolves and deletes a dilapidated building. It falls down and it like glows and it kind of deletes.
Yeah.
So is there kind of like, it's not necessarily that is there kind of like is it like a Mortal Kombat thing, and when you lose a certain number of games in a row, the system is just gone?
Well, it would.
Or do you think he just means that it's in such a bad place that if they lose one more, they'll basically have nothing left because there's only the principal office left.
Well, we've seen what games do to systems, right? Well, like every time the user wins, it nullifies a sector or
But what is-
whatever the game is on. And so, like all these games being lost, it just slowly destroys the entire
So
city.
why is he so sure that it's one more lost game? Couldn't it land somewhere off in the wasteland?
No,
of the system?
I think it's just a matter of like basically they've lost so many games now that the system is so thrashed that it'll just destabilize if they lose another game.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't see it on screen, but like maybe Glitch told him that.
Yeah, like there's a certain
Possibly.
number of losses that a system can take in a row before, like the sky's gold or
Yeah.
brown, right? So maybe it's a system stability thing.
Yeah, that was my thought when I was
I
watching
agree.
this.
Yeah. And the principal office, it looks like a wizard tower. Like it looks kind of gnarly. It's also a lightning, like it has lightning rods because we see lightning striking the little corner pieces.
Yeah.
Right? But the same lightning that deletes a building later. So I guess as the system destabilizes and the sky becomes like this brownish, this lightning can start just deleting shit
Mm.
to represent visually to us that the system is close to
Annihilation.
being
Done.
put down for good. Yeah. All right, where were we here? Oh, they explained to them, hey, we can't stick around, but we can train some of you so that you can actually go into the games on purpose and win.
Mm-hmm.
So I need some volunteers. And everybody kind of groans and like takes a step back. He's got a gruff attitude. He's like, well, if none of you are going to volunteer, why should we?
Yeah.
Fuck
I'm like,
all
dude,
of you.
there's like
Throws
10
hand up and walks away in disgust.
Fucked. But like there's like 10 of them, bro. Like these are the survivors. These aren't the warriors. Like all the brave people died years ago. Like whole seconds
Apparently,
ago
yeah.
in this system.
Yes, the people who actually had spine and gumption like were nullified ages ago because they were like the first people to like go and at least try and fight the user in the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had no guardian, presumably, so no direction.
Yeah.
But Christopher was right though. He's basically like, fine, get fucked, and he does walk away in disgust.
Yeah. But then
And
in
it
the next
shows him
scene
playing
that
with
we
his-
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in the next scene we find out that it's basically just an act
Yeah.
because
it's kinda
AndrAIa
like
comes in and
reverse psychology. All that.
And they've done this before. It implies that, like, they've done this a few times or many times before. They've gone to like shitty kind of like systems that are out of hope, and they try to turn things around.
They basically drill sergeant them into
Yeah.
like, which is it's a little questionable, but if it
maybe
works.
lead by charisma instead of
It-
hard knocks.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they're different, right? Well, I mean, AndrAIa tries to be friendly and
Yeah.
lead like that.
Yeah.
But it implies because he's like flicking his yo-yo, like he still has his
He's still
like,
got his yo-yo. Yeah.
his magnet yo-yo. There's like a good cop, bad cop kind of
Yeah.
deal going on.
Can
and he's
I-
like, so how many we'd get?
I-
And AndrAIa's
I-
like 4.
Forget about him. You know, he's had a real hard day. But you know, how are you doing? Are you doing all right? Can I get you a cup of coffee or something?
I was hoping you'd say that. So AndrAIa's like, we got 4, and Matrix is like, only 4? I thought we'd get at least a dozen.
It's like, and like you said, there are like 10 of them there.
Yeah, and I'm like, what do you want? Is this everyone in the system? It's like 10 people. At least a dozen. Where? And she's like, oh, really? With like that kind of charisma? Or what does she say? She calls him a bad actor.
You're just that not good. You're that not good an actor. You're just not good.
Good an actor?
Not the good an actor.
You not act very goodly, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, really? How about the time I convinced over 24 to join?" And I'm like, "You? Really?
Yeah.
Did the system have 24?
Yeah.
Because this one doesn't."
Maybe he rounded up. Typical.
Typical. Yeah.
Sure.
So she tries to convince them to go back outside and rally them up. And yeah, we get, like you just said, like a drill sergeant like routine.
Yeah.
We get four binomes here, and he kind of like paces back and forth.
I gotta say, I am a fan of all of these binomes for different reasons.
Yeah,
I like all of them.
I like all the binomes in this system.
I think these are some of the best, like not extras, but like minor characters that we've seen in the show thus far.
Yeah.
At least my personal favorite.
Character
anyway.
than a lot of the binomes in Mainframe that we've got to see, right?
Yeah.
And I like that the episodes are now kind of about more than just like the staple like 5-ish characters.
Yeah.
And
indeed, this is the first time we've ever seen another system besides Mainframe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like even to that effect, like even things like the warning incoming game, like voiceover announce person is different.
Totally different.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really do an impression. It's a weird voice.
Game over.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like
it's very
that.
small, shrill, computery.
That's why they're not winning games.
Yeah, they don't have the
They don't have Dot's voice actress.
Yeah, they don't have Kathleen
soothing
Barr.
them into the game.
And then we find out
so
it's like still
they-
Kathleen Barr, but with her voice just modulated.
Yeah. So these 4 volunteers, one of the binomes in the background is a 1 binome, but he's dressed exactly like Enzo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was clever.
This is the 3rd time I've watched this, and I'm just noticing.
We'll
The
see
shoes,
him again later on in the episode.
The hair, the fringe coming down. He has his icon right here. What the fuck?
I think the makeup binome is also in this.
Oh, I saw her hiding.
Yeah.
Earlier, yeah. She had the big hoop earrings. Yeah.
And the mole, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
Reusing assets.
I like it. Well, he's even got the sneakers. Huh. So yeah, one of them, he's got spiky hair. He's wearing like a
Barry.
Barry.
Yeah,
I love this guy.
Barry. I'm Barry, and I could lack the system before you could process a word. And then he goes, "Want to see me do it again?"
Yeah, he just goes into this like awkward running pose, but doesn't move.
Yeah.
And he's wearing like basketball gear.
Then the
He's
next
great.
one, who is it? It's Gabby.
Yeah.
She's a writer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's holding a broom for some reason. Yeah, and she mentions, oh, and I want to chronicle, I want to chronologue the adventures of the greatest warrior the system's ever seen. And he's all like, I don't want anyone writing about me.
She's like, oh, not you, her.
Points to Andrea.
Yeah. I thought that was
Andrea does
pretty
this little,
great.
like, you know.
And I'm like, neither of you have seen either of them fight yet.
Yeah.
None of you have seen either of them fight.
I mean,
I like that though.
The look kind of gives it away. You know.
I would think Frisket is the system's best fighter.
I like how this other guy, Hard Boot, he's got like
He's like
ripped,
a construction worker with
ripped
I love this
mandibles.
Dude, he is a jacked 0 binome.
Dude,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
those mandibles, man. Like, dude,
The 24-inch mandibles, brother.
he's like a frisket binome. Look
And
at
his
him.
legs are fucking chopped too.
Yeah.
And he's got like red skin
Yeah.
and
Hard
like
Boot.
tattoos.
My
Do you see
name
what the
says it all.
markings? Yeah, hard boot. The name says it all.
Yeah.
What's that nuclear symbol?
It's
Hard
an
hat?
atom, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just the symbol for an atom? I thought it was specifically nuclear.
No, I just see
No,
I
it's just-
recognize it.
Yeah.
I'll look into the wiki later. No, I won't. But I think that's a particular symbol.
After mandible? I don't think so.
No, that's my one.
I'm really sorry if the writer of the wiki is watching this.
I'm sorry. I tried my best. I like how Matrix.
He may be sorry. Snidler may be sorry, but I'm going on record and saying that Christopher Siege is not.
I'm not sorry.
So hard
do it
boot
again.
after he steps
Get good,
forward,
bro.
Learn the parts
Do
of an
better.
insect. After Hardboot steps forward, he says, "I'm Hardboot. The name says it all." Matrix doesn't say anything. He just like lifts up a boot and
he
slowly pushes him back.
Nudges
into
him back
line.
with his foot.
I'm like, use your words.
And
And
then
the
we
last
meet
one-
Jeff.
Last one's a fucking
You have
nerd.
this little
Jeff.
Poindexter
He's got
Binome.
like a pen protector with
Yeah.
pens in it.
trapper keeper and the lunch pail. Yeah,
Yeah.
And the dude's name is literally Jeff.
Jeff. Just Jeff. It's not even Poindexter, just Jeff.
What's the name of the Flash? What's this like?
Barry.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
so
I'm pretty sure
that's
Barry
clearly
was a direct reference to the Flash.
Okay.
Barry-
I was like, hold up a sec.
Barry Allen. Shears.
I was gonna bring it up on the wiki, but then I thought, no, after Matt, I'm not gonna.
So Matrix looks at Jeff, and he's like,
It's
well,
Mick
why are you
Foley.
here?
I'm
Mick
not sure
Foley.
why I'm here.
Remember that time Undertaker threw Mick Foley?
I remember,
stories.
I remember when that was a thing on the internet. Like, that was a...
One particular guy was like, instead of Rickroll, he was Undertaker through Mankind.
Yeah, it was like... like, whenever someone would mention something and be like, oh, hey, remember that time when? And this person would be like...
He'd give a really interesting description that would always
segue
be very
into,
lengthy.
Yeah.
And segue
into
like that time
in
the Undertaker
1998
threw-
when Undertaker threw Mankind off of the
That's
top
right,
of the
that's
Hell
right.
in the Cell.
He has a particular name, and he got me too. He got me a number of times. I'd be
That's
reading,
funny.
and I'd be like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Yeah, that
so-
that was like that was a thing for a while on the internet to do. Like, people would do that with referencing Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
So like they'd
I
start off,
forgot about
yeah,
that.
they'd start off like telling a story, and then it would always end with and then my mom got scared, so I moved in with my auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
Yeah, I forgot that. That's the same formula.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
it would
getting
be like
Bel
this
Air.
lengthy like explanation, and then it would end off with like a reference to the Fresh Prince.
Good catch. Yeah, the Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in a Cell is just a new age Bel Air.
Yeah, because the Bel Air thing was like mid to late 2000s, but the Undertaker thing I think was like mid 2010s.
Yeah, Bel Air was like a 4chan thing, and like the Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in a Cell was one particular dude on Reddit
Yeah,
over the last couple of years.
not
So
not all heroes wear capes.
yeah,
You.
we salute you.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna run to the washroom, but keep on
Okay.
talking.
yeah, we'll reach the game by the time he comes back. So
Yeah.
I like that Matrix like paces in front of them like a drill sergeant, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Now that I know all of you, you need to know something about me. I don't like losing.
I don't like losing. Yeah.
In the world of games, losing isn't an option."
Yeah.
And
yeah.
thunder cracks, and the voice is like, "Warning, incoming game."
Oh, hang on a sec. There we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here one comes, and they all
Here
step
one
forward,
comes.
and I'm like, how do they know where the game's gonna land?
Yeah, it just conveniently lands right where they are. and they barely have to move an inch. So it's
So
kind
now
of
I'm wondering if what you said makes sense. Does it never land in the same place more than once, and it slowly deleted all the different sectors until it's made its way to the principal office? Maybe.
I guess so, because the city is so destroyed that I guess it eats up any parts left.
That's what I was wondering, right? And since
Yeah.
most of it is destroyed, the only thing remaining is the principal office,
Yeah.
then it has to land here. Maybe.
Oh well, I guess that's it.
And
Because
they all get in place. Sorry,
they
go
all
ahead.
yeah, no, they all get in place, but the other
just
ones
wait.
just kind of stay where they are, as if they know well they're not gonna get trapped in it.
That's
I'm kind of just like,
right.
oh,
I'm like,
they're
how come
like,
they're not running?
goodbye, like have fun in the game, and
It's like they know exactly where it's going to land. So do you
Yeah.
remember how Dot and Mouse and that like scientist binome back in mainframe, they got like a system in place where they could predict where the games were going to land?
a little specky. Yeah. I
Only in
remember
the
that.
last like couple with like Specs and like Mouse working together, they figured out how to accurately predict where the games were going to land. I wonder if this system or maybe Matrix, they can do that now.
They might have done the same.
Because like you said, that they just like back up like 10 feet. The
Yeah.
rest of the binomes.
They all
As
line
if
up
they
and
know
get
exactly
ready.
where the edge of the game is going to be.
Yeah. Also, it's interesting because what we have after Enzo goes trailing off and finds that mantis. How far was he? Game could have landed over there.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
It could have landed anywhere. So maybe there's something to that. It only lands in areas that haven't been destroyed. It's loose, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Because
loose.
they have no quick way of getting under the game. So if it had landed like way off where Enzo was fighting the virus, they wouldn't reach it in time. And earlier, Matrix was like, or AndrAIa was like, if this system takes one more loss, it's gonna destabilize. It's gone. So I don't know if they knew it was going to land in the principal office, or like we had pondered, it takes a certain number, like maybe 10 losses in a row, and you're done, or a certain number of losses in a row, because they know that they have to win this one, otherwise they're gone, which is odd to me.
Yeah.
It could have landed way out in the wasteland, like you said.
Yeah.
And B, they know where it lands. So there's something I'm not piecing together here.
Maybe. Yeah. See, maybe glitch has something to do with like scanning for.
Maybe we should reach out on Twitter and go, hey, question. Or if we're just obsessing over this one small detail that nobody cares about.
I think it's more of like for driving the plot at this point. But honestly, I know there might be something, some kind of.
There has to be a rhyme and reason.
There must be, yeah.
But anyway, they, like you said, they're only like 10 feet away, and Wise One's like waving, like, "Good luck, don't worry. Who cares if you six are the only thing that stand between us and total destruction?" And then that
little
like
tea kettle
steampunk,
kid.
the tea kettle kid, runs up and he's like, "Matrix!" And we get a POV shot of him leaping at him like Enzo used to leap at Bob.
Yeah.
And he just bounces off of his chest.
He's got this massive center of gravity.
He just falls over.
Boing. Yeah.
Well, and like Matrix even kind of like puffs his chest out too to brace for it.
To brace himself for it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this kid like thinking? Yeah. I mean, if somebody went to go tackle me, I'd spread my legs and get ready to Toro too. I'd just move out of the way and.
I'm sorry, phrasing. What was that?
What? Huh?
Spread my legs and ready to Toro.
You heard me.
I just had to hear it again. I'm sorry.
I don't even.
Oh man.
What does that even mean?
There's a sentence that
I don't know, but I'm gonna use it from now on.
Spread my legs and ready to Toro. I think I was thinking of like a matador.
That sounds like a Saturday night for me.
It's my everyday workout routine.
Oh,
I spread my legs and get ready to Toro all the time.
There you go.
Oh, I just realized something.
Red capes are optional.
No, they're not.
So you went to the bathroom. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. You two do the thing.
This is when I am thankful for having a steel bladder. Actually, I'm gonna go to no.
Just
I
leave
just
me to
realized
vamp
something.
all by myself.
The little sprite bounces off of him, and he's like, "Make that 7!" And he moves his head, and Matrix says, "Magnificent." I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but isn't the Magnificent Seven like a Western?
Yep.
Did he say magnificent because he said 7? Is that like a
Probably,
little-
yeah. Maybe? Good catch.
Yeah.
I love The Magnificent Seven. I think it's one of the best films ever made.
I've only seen it once. I should rewatch it.
It's great. I have it on Blu-ray.
Nice.
It's a remake of The Seven Samurai.
Well, isn't didn't westerns save like Hollywood by basically emulating like Japanese like samurai movies about like honor and showdown and the one versus the many and duels?
With
like
Westerns, yeah. Yeah.
Or sorry, I meant westerns versus like samurai movies.
Yeah.
I think you were probably the one that told me that. I think that's cool. So you got westerns emulating samurai movies that saved Hollywood, and then you got blaxploitation that saved Hollywood. And then it started actually making money in it. It didn't need to do hokey stuff like that.
And then last year happened, and now movies are streamed. Cheers.
And then last year happened. The year of which the year who shall not be named.
2009. Cheers.
Yeah. What a start to a great decade. Oh, I'm always confused. Would 20 be the 10th decade of...
No,
or the beginning, the first year of the 20s?
2020 was the first year of this decade.
And then the last year is 2029.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like you said, what a great start to the decade.
Yeah.
It's
The 2010s were its own thing, but holy shit.
Speaking of starts to things, today, I had a fucking bird fly into me.
Oh, yeah.
I tweeted about it earlier. I was just
Somebody
walking.
replied, I think it was Lady Glitch, was like,
Yeah, so shout out to her, by the way.
yeah, shout out. Yeah, you were like, is this an omen? I was hit by a fucking bird.
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
was
So
like,
I was
Go
walking. I was walking down this up the street, just on the sidewalk, like walking to go do some bullshit, and this like fucking like little like brown bird, like there was a whole bunch of them that like kind of like flew around me.
like a sparrow or a robin?
Yeah, like a sparrow maybe. And then one of them just like fucking like crashed like right into my leg.
Eh? What did I miss?
And I'm like, and immediately I was like, and like the bird, like after it crashed into me, like it like fell onto the pavement and then flew away. But then my immediate thought was, I was like, okay, so I know if a bird shits on you, that's some kind of omen. And like a bird like flying into your house, that's some kind of omen. Like, is there an omen tied to like a bird like literally like fucking crashing right into you?
Was there? What do you think?
I have no idea. What do you think, Snidler?
I think a bird crashing into you is a sign that the bird is drunk.
It's a
Drunk
omen that
fly.
birds like you.
You are irresistible to birds, good
Maybe
sir.
it was trying to tackle you, like the sprite was trying to tackle Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
I guess so.
It was like siege, and it just bounced off your leg.
Siege!
Maybe that bird was a fan of the podcast.
Maybe.
And
Maybe it was a fan. There
maybe
you go.
Maybe that bird
Sign
was.
my wings.
Maybe that bird was a big enough fan to subscribe to our new Patreon page.
Oh, yes. Maybe.
Which, before we get back into talking about the episode, here's a little bit of audio about our Patreon page. Do you want to hear more Lasercomb content each week? Is one episode of Too Much Energon or Alphanumeric just not enough? Then subscribe to the Lasercomb Patreon, where starting at a mere $5 Canadian per month, you get exclusive bonus recordings of Christopher Siege, NeoCal, and AP Snidler shooting the shit, access to the Lasercomb Discord, monthly shoutouts, and more. Higher tiers include bonus video content, the ability to pitch future podcast content to us, a free t-shirt, and more. Support Too Much Energon and Alphanumeric by joining the Lasercomb Patreon today.
I shall do the rest.
So that was our...
Like this.
I really like that. All right.
So what's going on in this episode of the ReBoots?
Well, we're in a
a lot,
swamp.
really. We're in a swamp.
We're in a swamp. And oh, now that the game has landed, I'm seeing the system. This system is really small. Like the outside has crumbled away.
You know what?
GameCube
I've
is like
never noticed that.
1/4 the size of the entire system. I never noticed just until now.
That
So
actually kind of
literally chunks
answers.
have been falling off.
Yeah.
Well, that tracks, since Enzo was like, yeah, if they lose one more game, they be fucked.
It's because it literally can't land anywhere else except the principal office.
Yeah.
Which will fuck the system.
Which is kind of what we were saying earlier about Christopher.
There we go. We answered our own question.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We figured it out.
Time for some not product placement.
Yep. Definitely not.
Kron the Destroyer.
Yes.
The game is called Kron the Destroyer. No reference at all to
No.
Kron
movie.
the Destroyer?
Well, what is it? Conan the Destroyer?
Yeah.
Yes, but the villain of that film's name was Crom.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
No, the god is named Crom.
Well, someone in that film is named Crom.
So
there's a Crom, and we're gonna get to it.
So I'm a fan of Conan. Crom is the
Just
god
leave a
of,
trail of breadcrumbs, and we'll get there.
Right.
We will, yeah. Crom is
I can't believe I laughed at that.
I can believe it. Crom is the god of like chaos and war and destruction. So he doesn't have followers in the Conan universe because to worship him brings upon destruction upon you. But you use his name as a curse word, or right before a battle, if you want him to witness you, or to like, if you're gonna like, he likes impulsiveness against all odds, regardless of your like stature. So if you're like, I'm gonna go and fight these 20 men on horseback, Crom, go fuck yourself. Crom will be like, oh, what's this kid up to? Okay, good luck. Right? So Crom is like the shitty god of war in the Conan verse.
Yeah. Too good.
Yeah, what is it at the very end of the movie? Arnold is like, Crom, I have never prayed to you a day in my life, you son of a bitch. But know this, today 2 men stand against many. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah. So yeah, there's a play on that there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, I just noticed while the camera's spinning around them, Hardboot and is wrestling something from Frisket's mouth. Like Frisket's trying to pull his sledgehammer away, his maul away, and he's like fighting him for it. Huh.
Oh my god.
Cute.
Hard boot.
So they've never rebooted, and no one's taught them how to reboot.
Hence
In the
the
entire
destroyed
system, not even the command.com could tell them how to reboot. He's supposed to know shit like that. Right?
I mean, hey, it's it doesn't mean it was a good system.
Maybe he's not even the original command.
Yeah, maybe he's just in charge, like, by default.
Possibly.
Like he wasn't the original, so he's just like, hey, someone's got to do it.
He's the
It's a
wise
thankless
one.
job.
Wise one, but no one, but he didn't mention anything before that. Yeah.
So
He was chosen because he's the number one, and like there was no one else left, and they're like, "Well, you're a number one, so
You're literally a one.
Number one, I understand. Wise,
so we nominate you."
Yeah, you're in charge now. Also, you're the oldest.
You're the number one choice for the commando.
Yep.
Yeah. So the binomes are scared. I mean, Hardboot isn't. But AndrAIa's like, why don't we try the team speech? Why not? It's worked before.
Yeah.
All right, listen up. For better or worse, you're a team now, which means y'all get nicknames. And I like their nicknames.
They're great nicknames.
Yeah. Barry, you're Overdrive.
Overdrive. And he just gets his look. He's like, yes.
Gabby, you're Tweak.
Why
she, like,
Tweak?
writes it down. I was gonna ask you, gentlemen, what significance that is.
Tweak?
Because anytime I hear the word tweak, I just think of like a druggie, like tweaking, a tweaker.
I
think
of
about
Tweak from
that.
South Park.
That in South Park, yeah.
Yeah, the kid always drinking coffee. He was like twitching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, she's like a calm, like, writer.
Yeah. Why the like smart writer lady? Why is she tweak?
Yeah.
Maybe because she's always tweaking her notes.
Yeah. And he's like, Hardboot? And Hardboot's like, yes, sir. Your code name is, well, Hardboot. And he looks at AndrAIa and, like, shrugs.
I told
Oh,
you
he's
my
got
name
tattoos
says it
on
all.
Yeah. So I paused it right here. Right when he's saying, see, I told you my name said it all. And he's got, like, runes or tattoos up the side of his, like, right disc.
Right disc? Oh.
Like the part where his arm goes up and
down.
Connecting part.
I noticed tattoos, but I didn't notice if they actually said anything. I can't help but notice Tweak is holding Dot's organizer.
It's other people have iPads too.
I know, but it looks a lot like Dot's organizer.
No, hers is brown. Dot's was black or gray. Right? Yeah, sure.
Hers is brown?
Yeah, why not? Huh. I just noticed the tattoos.
Huh,
cool.
cool.
If there's any significance or if they're just like cool symbols. Wingdings, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody can read wingdings, can you translate that, please?
Anybody knows how to read.
Can you imagine?
Funky font from the 90s.
Fucking wingdings.
Wingdings.
And Jeff, you're now Tactic. And the sprite's like, hey, what about me? And he's like, quiet, kid, you bother me.
Man, you're really getting my back
Hey,
up.
bother me. That's not bad.
Yeah, Christopher just said, you're really starting to get my back up. And I have the DVD copy, and for some reason when the kid repeats it back, he goes, backup? Hey, cool. Backup is spelled on the DVD, B-A-K-K-U-P.
Interesting.
Just to be different, I guess. And then for the rest of the episode, whenever they say backup, the subtitles are B-A-K-K-U-P. I should have Googled it, but I haven't.
Backup.
Probably just a cheeky way of spelling backup.
It is a thing.
Oh?
It's hang on a second. There's a few different things. There's like a hip hop artist called Backup. There's a character from what? From The Tick called Backup. Huh. I don't know what it's all about. But we're not going to get into that right now. At least I won't. I won't delve any further.
Well, he's back up.
He's back up.
2 Ks, dang it.
Yeah.
K's is if Mortal Kombat has told me anything, it's that when you can spell things with a C, you should spell it with a K.
Absolutely. Kid Cat.
You know, there's a
Combat.
there's a metal band
Cool
from
gang.
Quebec named Cataclysm. They've been around since the 90s.
There you
But
go.
they spell it with
Okay.
a K. And I'm so familiar with the word Cataclysm, and like I associate it with that band so much because I've been listening to them since like the early 2000s. That anytime I see the word Cataclysm spelled properly, which is with a C, it looks wrong to me.
Yeah.
Like
No, I know
legit,
what you mean.
100%
That's
looks
funny.
wrong to me. Listeners, check out Cataclysm.
Yes.
Shadows and Dust. Good shit.
So they're complaining about the everything being boring, and they're like, "Well, hold on, things will heat up. We got to reboot first." And they've already made this joke on the show, but the kid backup is like, "Beetroot?
Beetroot?
What's beetroot?"
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw that earlier, I was I I was like, really? Like we just did that joke like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, it's also reboot does not sound like the word. Reboot is a real word.
Yeah.
I don't know how
also
they
is
hear
beetroot. Beetroot is also a real word, though.
But what I mean is, it's not like a made-up word that resembles the word beetroot,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? It is a real word, just like beetroot is, but it
I
doesn't
mean,
sound anything. Well, I guess
fair.
it does.
If
a
you
little.
rearrange the R and the B,
You
And-
get beetroot.
And
That's true.
add an
I didn't
extra
think that
letter.
through, ladies and gentlemen. I
Add an
didn't
extra
think that
E
through.
and add a T, then you get beetroot.
Beetroot. I didn't think that through.
Beirut.
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 You get Beirut
Yeah,
spelt wrong.
That's a
but
place.
Beirut. It's a country.
To
It's a
boot.
Yeah.
small-
and so
Small
anybody,
landmass.
again, they're telling the viewer, anybody just watching it, they're like,
Yeah.
if it lets you download useful tools, skills, and weapons and info about the game into your own code, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. So she reboots first, Andrea, and she turns into like a aquatic themed like Xena warrior princess,
Oh yeah.
kind of, right? Very like bikini armor-ish, not really tactical. But this is like a Conan-esque game where the weapons are more important than any armor.
Yeah, it's true.
And indeed, Matrix transforms into, as Christopher pointed out in the preamble,
William
transforms
Wallace.
into Braveheart. William Wallace.
Not
He's
great,
got a
though.
claymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the blue war paint on. He's got the kilt. Yeah, shirtless. And Frisket reboots into the exact same dog with different colors. He does not
Yeah,
change at
He
all.
reboots into a fucking Rottweiler is what he reboots
Yeah.
into,
His-
which I thought
his
was rad.
structure- Yeah, his structure doesn't change though. He's
No, like he's
just the
pretty sure.
colors of a Doberman.
Yeah.
He's black and brown,
Yeah.
but his model's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just Doberman colors. I mean, he looks cool.
Dog colors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he just changed into a different colored dog, which I find funny.
Yes.
And then all the others reboot.
Reboot.
And backup is I just noticed backup's icon is sideways, and it's
kinda
a little
weird.
bit different than everyone else's.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a circle around it; it just has solid colors with the triangle.
Yeah. It's
Huh.
interesting.
Yeah. So hard boot is some sort of knight. Barry is I don't know, a rogue. Backup is like another like Scottish warrior.
Hang on.
Tactic is a wizard,
Yeah.
and Tweak is like Gabrielle from Xena,
Yes.
like very literally. Yeah.
Which is funny because her real name is Gabby.
Yeah,
I thought that was clever.
So yeah, I like it.
It looks like Barry rebooted into some Native American style character.
Like a berserker or just a warrior or something.
Oh, like some kind of warrior, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a little hatchet.
It's got a little, yeah. Yeah, I like it.
So anybody else think it odd that not a single person noticed Backup getting fucking stolen by the giant crow? He doesn't
I think
scream,
it's
nobody hears it. It just like swoops down from the sky and grabs Backup and fucks off.
well. The thing is, Jeff turns around and he notices the feather falling, but he doesn't notice that anybody's gone. So I was like, oh man, harsh. Like,
And he like excitedly like hobbles over and picks up the feather and puts it in his wizard bag.
yeah,
I like his bedazzled
yeah.
star glasses.
Bootsy Collins glasses, yeah, yeah.
See, I was gonna say Elton
Jack.
John glasses.
I was
Elton
gonna say
John,
Elton
too.
John glasses, yeah. His magic glasses. So Hardboot is even fucking more jacked after he rebooted. Did you gentlemen notice that?
You're goddamn right.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
I'm not gonna
Is it
lie.
me or is his voice like more gruff?
A little bit,
Maybe
yeah.
I'm just imagining that.
I'm not gonna lie. Gabby's kind of doing it for. I mean, tweak, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely a little more, you know.
There is precedent on the
Yes.
on this podcast for the Snidler being into the binome ladies,
Yeah.
It's true.
especially
Hey,
the one
I have-
binomes.
I have a refined palate. Okay.
Yeah, the one by
I clearly.
Basically, it's long eyelashes, lots of makeup, dangly earrings, even though
Yeah.
they don't have ears. Yeah.
I mean, why not? You know.
Yeah. So
So what's
they
happening
go
now?
through the swamp. They find a boat. It's got a skeleton on it. A non-human.
An ex-human.
An ex-human. There
Yeah,
we
an
go.
ex-human. Sorry.
Get it right.
And
Some-
Barry's like, "I'll get through this in no time, no problem." And he takes his like little hatchet and he's like doing.
I got
nothing
these.
to it.
I got
Yeah.
these chains figured out.
Yeah.
But really, he's just ringing a dinner bell because the massive.
Oh, I
serpent
never thought about
thing-
that.
Yeah. And
The
it
serpent
just
creature.
yeah, big dragon-looking thing comes out of the water.
This is really cool. Man, I love AndrAIa's armor in this. Like the
Oh, yeah.
Aquaman kind of armor. She
Aquaman.
sees it and she dives right into the swamp.
Yeah, she's just
And
like, I'll be right
she's
back, guys.
aquatic, right? She's
Yeah.
that's her thing. I'll be right back. Yeah. And everyone else is seemingly clueless to, especially Barry, to the creature looming behind them.
Hmm.
And holy shit, is it scary?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's huge.
Jesus Christ. That is some scary ass frickin' NPC.
Yeah.
And then we briefly cut back to the binomes waiting for our heroes. And Wise One is like, "Oh, what's taking so long?" And there's a binome literally wearing a colander for a hat.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wise One, what will happen to us if they fail?"
Perhaps he is a
eternal deletion. Yeah, sorry.
perhaps he is a disciple of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
And that is their legal religious headwear, which means
Yep.
if you claim you are a member of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, you can take BCID and your driver's license with a colander on your head,
Nice.
and they cannot stop you.
Amazing.
All hail
Anyone,
Civ.
anyone listening in the province, that's like a state for Canada, the province
Yes.
we live in,
Yes, BC,
we can
British
legally
Columbia.
we can legally take our ID with past strainers on
true.
our heads.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I haven't done it yet, only because I haven't wanted to, but I will.
Yeah, police officer's pulling you over and he's asking you for ID. You're getting the fucking ticket.
Yeah,
He'll
no.
look at
You
you.
need to have it in your car at all times, just in case they're like, put that on. I want to see if you're the same person. Yeah.
No,
They'll
he's
be
just
like,
gonna look at
"Here's a
it.
ticket."
He's just gonna look at it and be like, "You are one silly motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a goddamn ticket."
For what, sir? I don't know.
I don't
Worth it.
know.
For being you.
Do it anyway. Be funny.
You
This is-
crazy
we only live
colander-wearing
once.
weirdo.
This is discrimination, goddammit. And he's like, yeah, it fucking is. Deal with it. Puts on his shades.
Deal with it.
Motorcycle cops away.
We've got all kinds of cops here in Vic. We got motorcycle cops, bike cops, undercover cops everywhere, of all kinds.
Robocops.
You named 3.
We've got one RoboCops. I haven't seen any horseback cops.
I'm
Never
sure.
have I.
I'm sure there are many ghost cops around.
There's probably. I just haven't seen them.
There's mall cops.
They're mall
John
cops.
We have
Cena cops.
Paul Blarts all over the place.
Yeah, I was a Paul
Got,
Blart for years.
Nice.
It's a thankless job.
Did he drive his a little Segway?
I wish.
Yeah.
Job would have been much cooler if I had a Segway. So, all of the binomes are kind of screaming. Matrix kind of has his like Conan sword, and he does like a pose, getting ready for it. And AndrAIa pops up on the serpent's back with and extends her claws, but not just a little bit, like a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like way longer than even like megabytes, and she like sticks it in the brain of this giant like serpent monster,
Yeah.
seemingly able to control it.
Like, wow, right?
I'm
wish
like,
I could
oh,
do
I
that.
didn't know she could do that.
Yeah.
Her poison has many uses, and she's like, "Hop on, gang. This will take us right to the castle."
Haha. I like to think this episode is kind of a callback to season 1 with the wizards and the.
It kind of feels like
the
that.
Dungeons and Dragons type game, because like they're all learning how to work as a team, and characters that are learning how to utilize other people's abilities, and
Yeah,
so
it's
it's
called.
kinda cool.
What was it called, Christopher? Something in a word.
dun-
from
a
our
Wizards,
Dungeon
Warriors, and
Oh,
a word
yeah.
from our sponsor is the name of the episode.
yeah, that's
play
right.
on W. Yeah, I get that because it's very
And
adventure game.
WWWF. Cheers.
Yeah.
The Worldwide Wrestling Foundation.
The Worldwide Wrestling Water Sport Federation.
Yeah, so even so for some reason so Matrix just now notices that backup is missing. And he's
Yeah.
like, I better go find him. Go ahead, we'll catch up. And she's like, go easy on him. It's his first time in a game. And
Yeah.
don't lose your temper. And they snake away through the swamp.
Snake.
Oh, I just realized Matrix's icon is on the hilt of his sword. I was trying to figure out where the heck it was. It's on the hilt of his sword.
Oh, I never even noticed that. Crazy.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I've watched this 3 times. It's on the hilt of his sword. The little what's that? The pommel?
The on the end or the top?
Underneath the bottom of the
I think
handle.
that might be the pommel.
So for some reason, not only is Backup fine, Backup is in a castle hanging from like a grate.
He's kind of not fine, but he's alive.
What I mean is he's not injured. So
Yeah.
I'm very curious what happened after the giant crow grabbed him.
Yeah, so he's in.
Maybe
So he's hanging from this grate, like screaming for help. No one's coming, and he's like, "I said help!" And then Matrix shows up and like
There
just
he
grabs
is,
the grate and
Yeah.
lifts him up,
Yeah.
and this like little backup, right?
Pixelation.
Pixelacious. Yeah, real alphanumeric.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, alphanumeric.
Cool.
So he's like, "Oh, cool! Like here's a new word."
Yeah.
I
And-
agree, it is cool.
And we cut back to the swamp, and AndrAIa and Gabby, they're on like a little raft type thing.
All of them are on
Oh,
all of them are on the steps to the tower that they
Oh,
need to
okay.
get in.
My
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, I'm kind of like just skimming through at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But basically, she's like, "Hey, like maybe you should stop writing and try to win the game
Yeah,
because you won't have anything to write about if you lose."
Yeah, because after this game's over, we're peacing out. So
We're
it's
leaving,
it's gonna be up to you to actually win these games going forward. So,
yeah.
Please take
maybe-
it seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm with her on that. I
maybe
was
stop
like, you know
fucking
what?
around. You know?
Quit fucking
Absolutely.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with her on that. She says it in a nicer way than we're summarizing it, but she's basically like, please stop messing
Stern.
around. Your lives are on the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Because after we're gone, you're the system's only hope.
And then after she says that, we cut away to a lightning bolt
This is what I was
destroying
mentioning. Yeah.
a city in the system.
Yeah, the lightning
Yeah.
bolt hits like a dilapidated building, and it glows blue and like falls apart.
Yeah. It's rather frightening.
And the binomes then look up and they say, "The system, it's crashing."
It's crashing.
And
Quick,
number one is
into the
like,
tower.
Inside. Go.
"Everyone inside, you'll be safe there."
inside.
And I'm like, "Will you?"
There.
Yeah, that was my thought too. It's like, well, like if the whole
For a
system
time,
just like
maybe.
crashes, like
I
you're not
think
gonna have
he's just-
anywhere to hide.
Yeah, and if they lose or if the game is lost, yeah. I think he's just telling them that.
I mean,
'Cause
He's
it's,
being
like,
a
very
leader.
Close to the...
Yeah.
yeah, he's being a leader. He's trying to reduce panic by saying you'll be safe, and rather than
Yeah,
saying,
agreed.
well, you might as well just jump now. So
Oh, that Nerf gun? The giant with like the foam like little bullets on the front.
yeah,
On the side it says nerd.
Yeah.
nerd.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so it's quite clearly a reference to Nerf,
To Nerf.
gun.
Yeah.
I just caught that. So some weird hokey pokey
That's
stuff
funny.
happens. I really like this scene. Oh, I just noticed. There's a giant hand, a brick hand on the outside of the tower. That's part of the tower. At 1842, the camera zooms
there
out
it
and we
is.
see the tower,
It's the
and
tower,
it's
it's like-
actually like a hand,
Yeah.
a brick hand on the side of the tower.
Ow, it's
Yeah,
a
it's like
brick.
built onto it.
Diddle-doo-doo. Hand.
Hand.
It's mighty mighty. It's holding all kinds of things up. Oh, it's a brick. Hand.
Hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
oh, you're right now. I see the coloring on the side of Barry's face, and he's got like feathered decals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got like a
a
primal,
vest.
like, yeah, kind of like First Nation
Skin
warrior
vest, yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. And
Primal.
Tic and primal. I don't know why I said that. And
He's
maybe I've got a
carrying
beast-
Prime Spark.
Maybe he's got the matrix of leadership temporarily housed inside of his body.
This spark has the Matrix with it. It's too powerful.
It'll tear you apart, I reckon. So, Tic Tac, Jeff, takes a feather out and he's like, "Oh, maybe there's something in here we could use." And Hard Boot is like, "Real useful, Tic Tac." And he's like, "If only I could fly." And this is very reminiscent of like old D&D
Wait,
because
Tic Tac?
sorry, tactic.
Tactic. Oh my god. I was wondering why you were calling him Tic Tac, and I was like, hang on.
Well, he's kind of as useful as a Tic Tac up until now.
I mean,
But I mean,
it's kind of amazing. Like, I'm
Hey.
all for it.
If he hadn't had turned around and picked up the feather, he wouldn't be here.
so Jeff is kind of the MVP right now.
Yeah.
And
He
whenever
shall
I hear
henceforth
Jeff,
be known as Tic Tac.
Tic Tac, the wizard.
Tic Tac's the MVP.
And so the feather disappears and sparkles go around.
No, if only
Jeff.
I could fly.
If only I could fly! And he grows wings. And seemingly operating on their own, they fly over. I used to think this was bad design. I'm like, that's a shitty lever, right? Because he falls and grabs onto something on the wall.
It's
I'm now realizing it's the
the
thumbnail of the
thumbnail, yeah.
hand wrapped around the tower. I used to just think it was a hidden lever.
Yeah. I was like, how did he find it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the thumbnail of the hand wrapped around the tower. Cool. Okay.
Right.
I used to just think it was a weird, like, obstruction jutting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the wings disappear, and he pulls the fingernail, and it lowers the drawbridge, almost crushing Hardboot.
But it doesn't come down all the way, so...
Yeah.
They gotta pull
Hardboot
it
has
down.
to pull
Yeah.
it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Hardboot pulls it down, and, like, a couple of the other binomes, like, lift him up so he can do that. And AndrAIa's like, sweet, guys, you're really taking this teamwork thing seriously.
And they're like, all right, she's like, let's go. And they're like, oh, shouldn't we wait for the other two? And she's like, nope, it's up
Nah.
to you guys to win the game. You gotta learn how to go on even if people are missing. The most important thing is winning the game, right?
You know, when they...
And she's like, they'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
And
You know-
indeed, we
you know,
cut
when
to them
the,
fighting gargoyles.
When the Titanic sinks, you just need to... Your heart needs to learn how to go on.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Yep.
It's topical. Like, Titanic came out like a couple of months after this episode first aired.
Oh.
And so sorry, where were we? Oh, Backup and
We were
Matrix
near.
are fighting.
We were far.
Yeah.
We were wherever you are.
Oh, no.
My spark will go on. So they're literally fighting gargoyles,
Yeah.
which reminds me of a TV show I used to watch in the 90s called Gargoyles.
Yes.
That podcast coming soon from Lasercomb Productions.
And Backup's like, how am I doing? And he's just like Morrowind fighting,
Yeah.
just
yeah.
swinging like wildly, and like the gargoyle he's fighting is like, yeah, Christopher knows. The gargoyle he's fighting is like,
Okay, so in Morrowind, it's just like doing this, which
Yeah.
I know kind of looks like a jerking off motion as I see myself doing it.
it's left to right, it's up, top down, and there's thrusts. It depends on how your character's moving.
But then there's also the Half-Life maneuver with the crowbar, which is
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's vertical, sometimes it's sideways.
it just seems to move around wildly.
Sometimes, but man, like the strength he has with the speed and rapidity that Gordon Freeman can swing that fucking crowbar. Admirable. Admirable. You try
He
doing
is
that for,
motherfucking Gordon Freeman, so
and he does have like that power suit thing.
yeah. He's a scientist, damn it.
He is, damn it. A silent protagonist. And we get a sweet Conan the Barbarian fight with the gargoyle and Matrix here. Like he even like blocks and like poses like with his sword. Really
Yeah.
cool. I really dig the choreography there.
Right. Didn't he do that earlier? Like pose with his sword?
He was like holding his sword out towards like the serpent, but he didn't like do much more moves than that. And he does some really corny, like the background is flashing and they go, ah, and it shows the gargoyle and him like fly towards each other. And then like a samurai kind of like duel, they just like are back to back and then suddenly the gargoyle is headless. And indeed, Backup somehow killed his gargoyle.
Yep. Yep.
He
Good
did
for
it.
them. They worked together.
Did the thing.
Backup even says alphanumeric.
It's spreading, damn it.
And we're met with like some fat ass demon guy with hands, with fire for his hands
With hands.
coming out of his hands. Yeah. And Hardboot's like, let's go get it. And I guess he triggers a trap.
Yeah.
But the trap doesn't do anything. It just closes the statue's mouth.
And something happens here that I think is particularly noteworthy.
How do they get it open? Oh, Gabby like just puts her stick in the mouth and wiggles it open.
So the door opens up and the user bursts through and says, "By Kron, I want the tooth." This is the first, like, am I wrong? But this is the first time that we've heard the user speak.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
so.
that's correct. Yeah.
Most of the time, they've made slight sounds here or there, like grunts
Yeah.
of pain or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've never heard them talk, which is cool.
And then
He also looks like a Conan villain.
And then dipshit Enzo is like, "You can't handle the tooth."
Handle the tooth. Which
Oh,
And like usually like for things like
And
that,
then-
I'm like I'll laugh and be like, haha. But when I was
Okay.
watching this, I was like, oh god.
yeah,
That
I-
actually
I
made
like
Kron,
me
I want the
cringe.
tooth.
And
I
like,
like-
Can't handle the tooth.
I like that
That's
he
pretty
looks
cringe.
back. I like that he looks back at Matrix to be like, "Huh, am I doing it right?" You know.
And Matrix is
did I
like,
say it? He's like,
and gives him a single nod.
"Yeah,
slight
good on you, kid."
thumbs up, you know.
Yeah.
So AndrAIa stops Matrix from going and fighting the user, and she's like, "Hey, they have to figure this out. Like, you have to let them fight the user."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they do.
And Barry
So
throws a bunch of
Jeff
skulls.
takes over
And, you know,
like, the leadership position.
It's
here.
all fine.
yeah,
Like worst
Jeff
comes to
does.
worst, we can just convert to sprite mode, and then if they lose, well, see you later, fuckers.
Well, if they lose, they were gonna lose anyway. I guess is the lesson, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they'd step in if things were really bad.
Would they though?
Yeah, yeah, I feel
Eh.
like yeah. But yeah, Jeff takes over and he's like, "Overdrive, use the skulls to slow him down." And so
This
he
was
just
like
starts throwing like humans, like
These, like-
ex-human skulls.
But these are like laid out so perfectly, like basketballs on a rack, you know, in PE class. And I was just like, "Oh, they're just there, like be used. Well done." So that's
Overdrive
perfect.
is a great shot.
Oh yeah.
Like he hits a user with every single one of them. And Gabby and Hardboot are still like trying to pry the gold tooth free,
I thought they already got it open.
or
But I
they're
guess
doing.
it snapped
They
shut.
break off the tongue. That's it. They break the
Oh,
tongue off of the demon, and then Gabby picks it up, spins around. She's a binome, so her parts can spin independently.
Yeah.
That's what she threw at him. I was wondering. It just looked like a sheet of metal, and she whips the giant stone tongue
Because I was trying to
at
make sense.
the user. That's what that is.
Because I was trying to make sense of Matrix's line right here, where he goes,
That's what it is.
"That's what I call a tongue lashing."
Now that's what I call a tongue lashing.
Like-
And I'm like, excuse me?
Okay, sure.
wow.
It's because they broke
Alright.
off the stone tongue from the statue, and Gabby
Yeah.
threw it at him. Weird line though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. I dig it.
Yeah. It's music.
And they
tongue
did it.
lashing.
They worked together.
An
Yeah.
old school way of saying
Excuse me.
getting like bitched out, basically.
Yeah. And Jeff is like, "Back up. Will you do the honor?" Will I? And he walks over to go get the golden tooth.
A tooth.
Wait, doesn't Frisket have a golden tooth? I can't
he?
remember. Didn't
I
he had a
don't think so.
golden tooth, right? Yeah, I swear one of his teeth are silver or gold.
Huh.
One of his canines.
Canines.
I'll go
One of
look
his
it up.
one of
later.
his canines.
One of his dog teeth.
All of his canines.
Canine teeth.
You are what you eat.
Yeah. So AndrAIa, Frisket, and Matrix, they all get ready to stay in the game, and they're like, "You guys got to go on without us." And it's an awkward goodbye, but before they leave, Matrix tosses back up his yo-yo.
And says,
Yeah.
"Every night in my dreams, I see you. I feel you."
And Backup's like, "That's kind of weird." No, he's like, "Hey, kid." And Backup's like, "Alphanumeric, thanks." And I liked that. I really liked that. And he gives him a wink. The 90s, the last decade where winking at children was okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was even okay in the 90s.
No, it was. But winking was completely different in the past. Like an
Yeah.
old man would kind of like make a joke and like nudge you and like wink at you, right? It wasn't some.
It's
Well, what does
rare
winking
now, yeah.
even mean nowadays?
just
Because
a-
I never
it's just a
see anyone
cheeky
do
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Nobody does it now, and it's associated with people being perverted for some reason. I used to think it was just cheeky and playful.
Well, I guess depends on who you're with. I mean, I've winked at people in my time, but it's never been like in any like strange context.
I never thought it was either, but the last decade I've been alive, apparently you don't wink at people, or it's creepy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Social cues change, I guess, over time.
Yep. Can't
But
even
yes.
slap women's butts in the office anymore. Jeez.
It's just mayhem now, man. I
Move
don't know
along.
if I can go on.
Man talk.
Run
now.
along, man talk.
Man talk.
You knew exactly what I was going for there.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
just an ongoing joke that we have on the podcast. Christopher was watching an old Bond movie,
Yeah, Goldfinger. Yeah.
Goldfinger.
and he
yeah.
literally he's like, "Run along, man talk," and he slaps a girl in the butt, and she walks away.
Yeah, and I was stunned by the... Well, I don't even need to tell you why I was stunned. I was stunned.
Yeah.
Less than
The
10
times
fucking
they
minutes into
are
that movie.
changing. Little jarring, yeah. Different. It's hard to think that there was ever a decade where that was okay.
But apparently it was the early 60s, so...
Run along, man talk. Is man talk where you like smoke cigars and you talk business?
Well, in the context of the film, like he... Yeah, that's pretty much what he does.
Yeah.
Just trying to think of masculine things that Bond could have possibly done. Drink cognac, smoke a cigar, talk business. I don't know.
Your lady mind wouldn't understand.
Your lady.
Wow.
I just thought of like a superhero named Lady Mind,
Nice.
right? Like someone like Professor Xavier, like Lady Mind.
Smashing the patriarchy from within.
Oh, where the heck were we?
Destroying the
Lady Mind, right.
patriarchy within the context of the mind itself.
Whoa, that's deep.
Yes.
I would watch that movie.
3 deep, 5 me. So, backup pulls the golden tooth out, folks. And they hear a game over. And AndrAIa, they're walking away. I don't know why they don't just chill with them in the last few seconds. Maybe it's easier that way. They walk away.
That's not what badasses do.
They walk away from...
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Yeah,
They take a
They
minute
just
and
walk
walk
away.
away.
in slow motion. So AndrAIa kind of like cheekily says, "Hey, does that kid remind you of anyone?" Matrix is like, "Not particularly."
No.
Didn't think so. And we get to see an interesting thing. She grabs his arm. She says, "Have I told you lately how wonderful you are?" And he's like, "Not lately." And the game kind of like goes all like purple energy-ish, and it shoots back up into the sky.
Yeah.
And all the binomes are left there on the principal office. And oh yeah, there's the Enzo binome. Oh, and there's the makeup.
There's the makeup binome.
Movie industry binome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Backup's there, and he's got a cool like Magno yo-yo.
Yeah, and the wise one has like a roll up, like rolled up, like scroll type thing that has like system repair plans, and he lays them out, and he's like, "Good luck and thank you."
We will rebuild.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Cheering and
System repair
cheering and dramatic instrumental music.
Happy
Oh,
Enzo
and
music.
the sky turns blue and white.
Yeah.
So
They won a game. It starts to repair itself.
it starts to repair itself.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
The system repair sheet kind of looked like a computer chip or something as the camera zoomed out.
It looked like kind of like a motherboard. Yeah.
A little bit different than mainframe.
Yeah. More rectangular than circular.
So, here on Alphanumeric,
I want to say it.
we
Nice joke.
have a rating system. It's a 4-tiered rating system that Snidler knows well.
Yes, let's ask him. Snidler, what is the 4-tier rating
We
system?
have a 4-tier rating system. The worst of the worst is that was bad.
You're not allowed. You
Very
have a piece
bad.
of paper you just looked at. I saw.
No, I have nothing.
Okay.
Turn that piece of paper
See,
over.
look. See? There's
Okay, I
nothing
believe
here.
you. Okay, don't stall.
The second is not the worst, but it wasn't great. Is I don't think so. The third is that was easy enough. I was like, it wasn't fantastic, but it didn't make me want to vomit. And then the top of the top
Good.
is alphanumeric, which is like, cream of the crop rising to the top.
But the cream rises to the top.
The cream. Yeah.
But the cream rises to the top.
To the top.
Have you guys seen that Macho Man bit?
Yeah. He starts throwing creamers. Yeah.
I love how he rolls with
Pull
it
them out
too.
of his
Like
pocket.
he puts it on his head and tries to balance it, and it falls off, and he's like on balance, off balance, it doesn't matter. He just like keeps going with it. And he's like pulling like all these creamers out, and it's like, where the
From everywhere.
it's like, where the fuck are all these creamers coming from?
I am the
Wrestling
cream.
bits can be amazing.
Yes, they can.
Top-notch actors.
Directed by Ezekiel Norton.
Ezekiel Norton.
That's a very great name.
All right, anyway, our ratings.
Yes.
All right, Christopher Siege. What is your rating for Icons?
That was easy enough.
That was easy enough.
I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually more than I was expecting to, honestly. I thought the episode was fun. I liked the reintroduction of Enzo and AndrAIa as adults. The kind of duality between Enzo's view of viruses versus Bob's was pretty interesting. I like the relationship between Enzo and AndrAIa. They have like kind of a nice dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to nail that, and I think they did.
Yeah.
I like the fact that we got to actually see a new system for the first time ever in this show, and I thought the Wise one was pretty fun. But
And you said the binomes.
and yes, the binomes are party in the game. Like, I think are some of the best secondary characters we've seen in the show thus far.
Yeah.
But it's still not. I don't know. There's something. There's something missing from it for me to make it a like top tier like alphanumeric rating. There's a little something missing.
Needed more Conan references.
Needs more Crom. So
Needed more.
7 out of 10 needs more Crom.
Snidler.
I'm gonna give this one.
Here it
that
comes.
was easy enough as well.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because I really did like this episode. It was almost word for word what Christopher said. It was fun. It was. I liked the teamwork. I like how Enzo and AndrAIa were portrayed as adults. They're basically the same, but adults. And I think yeah, I just like the relationship that they have, and I like how they kind of like made that. Well, in my opinion, kind of call back to Wizards and Warriors and words from our sponsor.
See,
Where
I
they took like a bunch of. Sorry.
I would argue they are not the same at all, but adults,
No.
especially
Well,
Enzo.
I
Yeah.
meant. Oh, sorry. What?
Especially Enzo, like they are definitely not the same characters.
I agree.
I meant their dynamic as a team. Because you have
Oh, I
like
see.
Andrea, who's always kind of been like there to support him and to help him and to well, she's just this tremendous part of. Well, she's getting lost in my own thoughts here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like
Oh no, it's okay.
derail you there.
That's all good. And yeah, sorry. Basically, their whole thing, like as Enzo and Andrea, as Andrenzo, if you will.
Endrenzo, yes.
Hashtag
Endrenzo.
Yeah. Their relationship has strengthened to a point where they both know each other quite well. But still very much, he's definitely more kick-ass, but he's still very much. There's still like that boyish mentality about him that is kind of kept in check by, lovingly kept in check by Andrea, and I just think that's a really cool way to portray them as adults.
To an extent, yeah. Like he's definitely like still got a juvenile quality to him.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I just really like how introduced like a whole new system. We're out of mainframe. Like at this point, ReBoot was making a huge risk telling different stories like this because you go through like 2.5 seasons almost, 2.25 seasons, whatever, of ReBoot, and they all take place in mainframe. They all have the same characters, and some of them are gone, and some of them are still here. And now we're seeing something totally different, and it's the same story, just different places, and it's kind of like, yeah, I just think it works. I really am impressed with how well the show holds up, and if you don't know the rest of the story, you'll still get into it. That's my thought.
Well, and
it's kind of timeless that way for me, anyway. So yeah, I won't ramble too much, but basically, yeah, this one gets it that was easy enough because it was still. I guess
all the conflict in it was very light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
that was basically it.
So big that it's like the scale of a system being deleted isn't a direct foe.
Yeah.
Even the user isn't even a threat. He shows up and they throw junk at him.
Yeah.
Right? So the lack of a major conflict. Like there's a virus and he's a bitch.
Yeah.
Matrix like kills him easily.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe it's because there's no great conflict.
Yeah.
The conflict is...
I think the sole purpose of this was showing other systems and other citizens how to not fear games necessarily, because a lot of them see a GameCube drop and they're like, oh crap, it's the user, we're all going to die. They kind of brought a group of strangers into a game with them saying, look, this is what you do, think for yourself, you work with each other, and the user could be well advanced or he could be a beginner. Either way, you got to know how to take him out, and this is how this one was fairly simple. So,
I think
that's what happened.
I think at its most fundamental level, it's establishing Enzo and Andrea's life now. Yeah. This is what they do. They hop between systems. They solve a problem, move on, go to the next system. It's actually a very Western thing.
Kind of, yeah.
We talked about Westerns a little bit earlier in this episode, but yeah.
Renegades that go from town to town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't ride off into the sunset. They ride off into the purple mist.
All right.
I'm no guardian. There's no guardian here. I'm a renegade.
Renegade.
which actually made me laugh.
Yeah.
That was a little cheese, but I like it. They need the cheese to establish it. So,
That was like over the top level 90s right there. That was the point where like the 90s-ness of it like maybe went a little too far.
Maximum 90s.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
turned 90s level to 11.
Yeah. And blew
All
the
right,
speaker out.
so me. Let's see
What
here.
do you think, NeoCal?
Well, so right away, you guys already like mentioned, it's establishing the new characters, and I think the show is the showrunners are incredibly ballsy. It's like, oh, everyone likes the main character Bob. Well, one of the main characters, Bob. Let's get rid of him.
I was going to mention that earlier. Yeah.
Let's make the
this
bad
show
guys
takes
win.
big swings.
Let's make the bad guys win. And let's age up. Change the main character. Well, I argue that Enzo's one of the main characters, and is now another main character, but like let's change the focus. Right? It's not in mainframe, Dot, Fong, etc. It's adult Matrix and AndrAIa. So like like you said, it takes some big ass chances. Bob gone was one. The bad guys winning is another. And the shift to adult AndrAIa and Matrix. And the whole like, oh no, the show has violence. He's got a fucking gun. Fuck you. He shoots viruses in the face and they die. Right? And it's so over the top, right? Like he's got like the facial hair, the huge muscly arms, Frisk, it's exactly the same. But
Big mandibles.
I want to give it an alphanumeric just because of what it is. It's the first episode in this arc, and showrunners wanted to tell a different story. It could just be 4 seasons all in mainframe, just like seasons, Simpsons and other cartoons and stuff never age up. They don't progress the fucking plot. It's just the same thing over and over. It's
One-off
incredibly
episodes.
ballsy to move away from Kid Enzo, Guardian Bob, responsible Dot, and to do these kind of like sweeping changes. So part of me wants to be like, oh, it's alpha numeric because it's so fucking different and it's so bold and it's establishing these characters and it has to win the audience, which is really difficult. But if I have to just view it as an episode in of itself, right, I think I'm on board with you guys, and just on its own, not taking into the merit of what it's trying to do.
I see what you're saying for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that was easy enough.
It's actually like going back and watching this now, like it's kind of bewildering.
But it was way better than. Sorry, go ahead.
It's kind of bewildering, like just how much of a shift this show has taken. Like shows nowadays wouldn't do this. Like they wouldn't like essentially like we know Bob's not dead, but like at the time like we basically figured he was gone. They wouldn't basically like kill off their main character after 2 seasons and then shift the focus to what is essentially the supporting cast.
And time jump.
And then time jump to have like and then just focus on like 2 of the supporting cast members as they're now adults, like X number of years later. Like a show nowadays wouldn't do something like that.
No, especially not an initial kids show.
Yeah. It's
like never. Like Paw Patrol is about cute cats and dogs.
Yeah.
And like nothing else, and it stays that forever. And
yeah, like at the time it was kind of strange, but like nowadays it's like it's
even
wacky. It's wacky to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a shame that we don't have that kind of like era where shows can be brave like that. Like now it's just churned out kids shows that's of no meaning and they're completely episodic. And I understand that it's about money, not telling a story.
Well, and like the level, like the level of which and frequency that this show kind of redefined itself is very comic booky. to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, comic books were doing this kind of thing all the time, like dating all the way back to like the 60s and 70s.
But also,
But you weren't seeing it
I
on
think it's
TV,
at its-
really.
No. I think also like the show's at its most exciting because speaking of episodic, even though there are arcs, right?
Yeah.
Like we have no idea what next episode will be.
No.
Like what the system's going to be like, what the source of conflict will be, right? So I think that's cool because they've naturally made it episodic by nature of the games.
Well, and right now it's kind of at that like Incredible Hulk / Quantum Leap type formula where it's like, you see what I mean, right?
Yeah,
so like
yeah,
in Quantum
definitely.
Leap, so like Scott
I
Bakula
love
has
Quantum Leap.
has like solved the problem of the episode, so he leaps away, and it's like, oh, where's he going to be next week? Who knows? Tune in next week on ABC and find out.
What was the hologram? Ziggy or Iggy or
I don't
It was
even
Iggy.
remember.
was it
Yeah.
Iggy?
I think
Yeah.
it's Iggy, yeah.
Or like the Incredible Hulk TV show, like the same thing. Like Bruce Banner like shows up somewhere, hulks out, fixes a problem, like, and then walks away, and you just hear him like walking down a road, like looking back with do 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 do, and then it's like, well, where's Bruce Banner gonna end? Or sorry, David Banner. Where's David Banner gonna end up next week? Who knows?
Kung Fu was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch all of Kung Fu. I have
And like
fun fact.
that, at least for this story arc anyway, like that's kind of the format that this show is taking.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, feel like we've summed up all of our feelings on this
Indeed.
episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
And where it's gone.
I liked it a lot, despite not giving it an alphanumeric.
Yeah, same here.
Despite Aiden saying that that was easy enough, is just that it doesn't want to make you puke. I would say
I was going to clarify, but I didn't want to.
that was easy enough is good. It's just missing
yeah.
some special magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's missing a
It's
little
a
bit of a
high that
herbs and spices on top, you know?
Do you guys follow Salt Bay?
No.
The guy that's like famous
Yeah.
for like
I've seen his
crumbling the salt down his arm.
Like
He is amazing. He's like
Well,
a
I've seen
walking
that,
meme.
but I didn't actually know what it was from.
Yeah.
Because
He-
I am an old man, you see.
We've only just joined.
I'm
the
an old
twist
man.
here.
You see.
I am an old man, and the oldest of all of us. Cheers.
Oh jeez.
That's right too.
No, I am,
So-
yeah. Listeners, I am the oldest of the three of us.
Christopher is
Not
old.
by much, but...
Not by much.
That
No.
that is icons, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We are running out of daylight, so we gotta say goodbye. But first, we have a word from our sponsor, Christopher. Oh no, sorry, there's no sponsor, right? The sponsor is us.
I was going to say, we already did that.
Yeah.
Right, we're endorsed by no one.
Christopher is technically the sponsor of the episode.
Yes.
I mean, if you want.
Yeah, I kind of am. Where can people find us?
You can creep us on Facebook. Look for Lasercomb Productions. You can, I think, yes, Alphanumeric was amalgamated into Lasercomb. We have a website, alphanumericpodcast.com.
.ca.
Sorry. www.alphanumericpodcast.ca.
Yep.
You can creep Christopher Siege on Twitter at Lasercomb, one word, LAZORCOMB. You can creep Snidler at APSNIDD
Yes.
LER.
The double
And you
G.
can creep me at Twitter at Neo_Cal. You can be my 9th follower I think Christopher Siege has also got an Instagram.
I do, at Christopher Siege, SIEGE.
And we still have the email?
Yep, alphanumericpod, POD, at outlook.com. Don't get a lot of emails relating to this show,
Send
so...
us a rant. Send us a rant about how hard boot is. How you're hard for hard boot.
Yeah. If you're listening to the audio-only version of this show, look us up on YouTube, because we're doing video now, too. Lasercomb Productions, or Alphanumeric Podcast. You'll find us there.
Oh, Christopher, speaking of YouTube, real quick, before we say goodbye, for the first time ever, YouTube isn't trying to autocorrect me when I type in Lasercomb Productions. It's always like, did you mean like laser space comb? And then it shows a bunch of other stuff. Now when I type it in, it's actually the first thing that pops up.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
It's a small win for me.
Lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Yeah. Look that up.
I'm also on Instagram too, AP Snidler.
Follow this man, damn it. For great justice.
My screen, he's over
Where am
here.
I on your screen? Am I beside you and I'm beside you?
Well,
He's
my
this way.
screen...
You're-
My
Your
screen
cow's
is the
here.
one that's going to be on YouTube, so my screen
Christopher's-
is the one that matters.
Oh, okay, so who's where on your screen?
So this way is the Snidler, and this
Okay,
way
so Snidler's
is
there.
the Neo Cal. The Neo,
Oh,
the
weird.
Neo
Yeah, it's
Cal,
the same.
the Neo
It's the same
Cal.
on my screen. It's the same on my screen.
So I have
You're
to look up and wait.
Christopher Siege, NeoCal, Snidler.
Yes, Snidler, you are right there. This is me
Hello.
talking to you.
Christopher.
You're doing that
Hello,
backwards,
Christopher.
good sir.
Hi. I'm doing it forward, my man.
So we need to
Neo
establish
Cal.
what Christopher's. Oh,
How you doing down there?
I'm doing just.
Oh,
fine.
hi.
Hey.
Hi, Cal.
Oh, hey.
Hey, bud.
Hey, you're waving.
How you
at
doing
me.
down there?
How you doing?
How's the air down there?
Okay, so we should find out what Siege's setup is before we try to do this bit, because we all have different screens on.
Apparently. I had no idea.
How's it going, Christopher?
That was great.
Oh, sorry, that's Snidler.
Is it? Oh, there's no one here.
All right, people, we're going.
one
Hey,
outside.
guys, how's it going? Yeah, great show, right?
I have been one of your hosts, NeoCal.
I've been another host, AP Snidler.
And I have been the third least best host, Christopher Siege.
And until next time.
Freedom!
I'm a renegade.
My name says it all.
My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff. I want to help.
Is nice.
It's nice.
Yakshaman.
Great success.
I want to defeat Seuza just like you. It's very
You
good.
like me. I like you. You like me.
You like me.
Okay.
My name is Jeff. Everybody have fun tonight.
Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you. Go on. near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go